Well, we've made it to January the 1st, 2019. And just like yesterday, there is a peaceful quality to today that is second to none. I guess it's because the traffic count, it being a holiday, is very low, but it is just so peaceful. Quite beautiful, really. Just before Christmas, I had one of my routine run-ins with somebody in the local shop here. I've used that shop about 3 times in the last 2 years. I just can't be trusted not to kick off if people act with discourtesy, etc. Me, my father and my daughter walked in the door, and we were getting all sorts of stuff, and my daughter was getting penny sweets, which involved the person behind the counter doing a lot of counting and the like. And my father said to my daughter, let this man in, all he wants is a paper. And he just completely, without a word, took us up on our kind offer and went to walk out the door. And I just positioned myself straight in front of him and said, "Oi, sunshine, when a 7-year-old child allows you in front of them," should have said anyone for that matter, it's irrelevant that it was a 7-year-old child, but it makes it particularly bitter for me. I just said, you didn't say thank you. What's your problem? As is always the way with these people, they're not expecting any comeback. He just remained completely silent, and I thought, right, let's see how far you're going to push this. I opened the door for him, and he didn't say thank you, so I just launched into another tirade that I wanted. You know, it's a bit like sort of people doing that pushing thing when they're pissed up with somebody going, come on then, come on then. I wanted his blood, you know. But the lady behind the counter said, "Oh, that could have been my fault." And I said, don't go blaming yourself for that man's behaviour. And I let myself down a little bit. In most people's eyes, I couldn't give a damn. And I said, he was the one looking at me like I was a piece of shit from the moment he walked in the door, and I was nothing but courteous to him. And I regret using the swear word. I was picked up upon it, and an argument ensued between me and my father over it. It was all dealt with very quickly, you know, as is our way as a family. We're very much out there, say what you think, and that's enough. But this man was the picture of British respectability. Barber jacket, brogues. You get the picture. The perfect English gentleman. Truth of the matter is, you can guarantee he's just an upper middle class wannabe, wanting to be upper class and failing miserably. Because I find, with a 100% reliability, that people who were born with money, are part of the aristocracy or anything, tend to be very polite, all-inclusive and decent to everybody. But yeah, it's amazing how people are willing to have such an obvious attitude towards certain people, the way they look, the way they assume they act and everything, and see themselves as superior to the point where they won't even engage in a simple thank you. I'm sure a lot of people understand where I'm coming from. I know a lot of you in the past have just said, why'd you let this shit get to you? Because I'm me, you're you, and we've been through different things. And it's all about finding some balance and a sort of happy medium between us all, isn't it? God, this coat and this hood make me look like I'm the Hunchback of Notre Dame. There is so much pressure from people for you to internalise and take the moral high ground and allow these people to live in their own miserable little worlds of spite, hate, misery, jealousy, etc. But I can't do that. That's the reason I have to have my outbursts. This isn't an apology, it's just a reason. I'm certainly not going to internalise that kind of energy, come home, and although you may have physically forgotten about it, it's still laying there underneath the surface, and it just becomes another tiny fragment of resentment that has got to be projected out somehow, and it comes out in those petty little statements and gripes with people you live with and people you love, and I'm not going to do that. No one's going to get both barrels from me for the behaviour of some arsehole like the guy in the shop just after Christmas. I've done that for too many years and I'm not doing it ever again. We all know that we have our personal tolerances and intolerances. And you know, there's been conjecture over the years in my comment section over me apparently getting annoyed about things that just don't matter. And I can see why people would say that. I look at other people's behaviour sometimes and think, why'd you let that get to you? You're a much better person than that. But the thing is, we've got to listen to people rather than keep offering solutions that suit us. You know, like I've said a million times, you can eat a load of oysters and be absolutely fine. I'll eat them and I'll react violently and be sick for a week. Some people, it'd even kill them. From taste to our sexuality, what gets that person sexually excited would leave you cold and probably vastly amused. What gets you going, what gets them going, what your taste is, what their taste is, what your tolerances are and what their intolerances are. The truth doesn't lay within any of us, it's just between us. And if ever we've had something that we can ascertain is a tiny little fragment of something that's got bigger and bigger and bigger the more it's been added to, we can understand people. But I think that we kind of subconsciously want to feel better than others, even if we're good people. I'm not including myself in that, but you know what I'm saying. We're sort of benevolent souls. I think that we have a tendency to still find those situations when somebody says this happened to me and it was difficult. We find it hard not to offer something that we subconsciously feel elevates us above them because we've been there, done it and have found a way through it. But what's good for you isn't necessarily good for me. My experiences are so vastly different from yours and vice versa. What makes you fulfilled and have a happy tummy will make that person vomit for a week. I think that the more time that passes and the older that I get, I just realise that we employ our vocal cords far too regularly and on a much more regular basis than our oral receptors, our ears. And I'm not suggesting I succeed at this, but it's something which is a very big part of my wants for my future, is to be a much better sympathetic ear and a much less prevalent purveyor of my truths, my way of dealing with things. Enough said, really.